Good evening, everyone. I hope we are all well. Alright, so in this session, we're going to look at the last part of set notation mathematics paper 2, section A. So in the previous session, we looked at those types of questions where they give you a Venn diagram and then hide one of the elements and then ask you to find the hidden element, and then you have those questions that follow up. In this session, we're going to look at the other format which they could bring, where they give you information, and then from the information they give you, they will require of you to draw the Venn diagram, and then they will even ask you some questions afterwards. So that is what we are going to be looking at in this session. So the first question is coming from Mathematics Paper 2, 2024. This one was written by the grade 12s. Okay, so the question says, so let's go through the question and then we'll figure out how to answer it. So the question says, on a particular day at a school with 50 grade 12 learners, 33 collected biology textbooks, 24 collected mathematics textbooks, and 23 collected history textbooks from the school library. 13 learners collected both biology and mathematics textbooks. 16 collected both mathematics and history textbooks. 15 collected both biology and history textbooks. And 10 collected all the 3 types of textbooks. First question says, illustrate this information in a Venn diagram. That's 2 marks. Roman numeral 2 says, how many learners collected? A, none of the textbooks. B, one type of textbook only. C, 2 types of textbooks only. Okay, so here you need to pay attention to the information they're giving you in the question. Pay particular attention to the information they're giving you in the question. So if we read through the question, let us now start pulling some information from what we have been given. So they say, on a particular day at a school with 50 grade 12 learners, they give you the total for the Venn diagram. The number of learners in the Venn diagram, when you add everything, you should get a what? A 50. So the total is 50 for the Venn diagram. You take note of that. Okay? And then they're saying 33 collected biology, meaning biology is equal to 33. The set for biology, the entire set, when you add everything in the set for biology, it is 33. Okay? 24 collected what? Mathematics textbooks. So meaning for math, you have 24. When you add everything, I don't know why I'm writing wrong values. Okay, when you add everything in the set for mathematics, you're supposed to get 24. And then 23 collected history. So H, you have, that is 23. When you add everything in the set for history, you should get 23. And then we continue reading. 13 learners collected both biology and math. So again, biology and math. You have what value did you pick? That is 13. Okay, is equal to 13. This is the same as biology intersecting with mathematics. Okay, we proceed. So we've captured biology and math. 16 collected both mathematics and history. Mathematics intersecting with history, the region is supposed to have 16. So math and history is equal to 16. Okay, and then 15 collected what? Biology and history. 15 collected biology and history. So biology and history, we have 15. And then the last one, 10 collected all 3 types of textbooks. So meaning this is the intersection of all the 3 sets. Okay, 4 books. So now we need to draw a Venn diagram using the information we have been given. So this statement, 10 collected all 3 types of textbooks, simply tells us to say all these three sets have a common intersection. For example, you have something like this, like that, and like that. So this region right there, that is the intersection of all the three sets. That's how you know how you're going to draw these three sets. Okay, whenever you have a section where they say this number, maybe they collected, like in this case, 10 collected all three types of textbooks. So meaning these sets are overlapping. All three sets are actually overlapping at some point. Okay, so at this point we can now draw. So we have three subjects, meaning we have three sets. We have biology, mathematics, and history. That simply means we need to have three sets in this Venn diagram. So let us go ahead and draw these sets. So for this one, I'll use some shapes. Allow me to grab some shapes from here. Okay, let's say got it. This guy is tripping. Don't know why. Just give me a moment. Okay, where are my shapes? Okay, we go to draw and shapes. Okay, so we can now get a circle. So let's put one right there. I think this is enough. Okay, and then I think we can copy this. Can we copy this? Yeah, we can. So we put another one. Can we? Oh, we can't. It makes sense if I could just copy and duplicate. Okay, let's see. I need to plug in another one. Oh, let's copy here. Then let's say Ctrl V to paste. Nice. Then I can move it here. Okay. Let's say Ctrl C, Ctrl V. This is quicker now. Oops. Okay. Okay. Come on. I need to drag this thing upwards.
Can you bring this black one? Where is that black?
Okay. Looks like I need to use cursor to move this guy upwards. Yeah. So we know to say these three sets are overlapping. So that's why I've made them like this. Then we need a rectangle for the Venn diagram, right? So let me grab another shape. Okay, now grab our rectangle. Then we can put it here. Okay, so this will be our rectangle. Then we can start naming the sets. So we can now say this is our universal set, so we can put our E there. And then let's say this is what subjects do you have? We have mathematics. Is there math, biology, and history? So let's call this one math. Okay. Then this one, let's call it biology. Then let's call this one history. Just say history. Okay. Yeah. So now, whenever you are dealing with this question, always start plugging in your values from the center here. Always, don't forget that. Always start plugging in your values from the center, and then you start distributing them outwards, starting with this, that, and then that's when you go to these final segments. Okay, this is very important. Otherwise, you end up having wrong values, because somehow the examiner will actually have to confirm whether what you've done is correct or something. They might even ask you how many, like in this case, they have told us to say there were 50 learners. They've already told us the total. So they can't ask us to find the total. But then there are times where they just give information and then they'll ask you how many learners were at this school. So if your information is not correct, you end up finding wrong values. You actually get a 0 in this question. So always start from right here. So which guys are we putting here? The ones that borrowed all the 10, all the 3 textbooks. These guys are the ones that are going in that region. So meaning we put a 10 here. Okay, please pay attention as I'm explaining this. This is very important because this is where all your answers are going to come from. So if you miss it here, you are gone. Okay, so he said this information here. 10 collected all the 3 types of textbooks. It simply means it's this region here where I've put the 10. Okay, so that's where you start from, and then you proceed to another one. Okay, you now go to the intersections. Okay, so the intersections, we have this region here. This is the intersection of math and biology. Then this one here is the intersection of math and history. And then there's this one here, which is the intersection of biology and history. So you now go to the intersections. So now, how do you find the values for the intersections? So let's say our target is this region, the intersection of math and biology, which is everything here. Okay, so let us go to the information that's talking about this intersection. So we have captured this one. Math and biology, where is the intersection? This one right there. Biology and mathematics, we're told to say that region should have 13 in total. Okay, it's supposed to have 13 in total, but we already have a 10 here. So how do we find the value to plug here? We are simply going to subtract this 10 that we already have. Oops. Okay, we're going to subtract this. We've been told to say this whole region should have 13. Okay, so all we have to do is say 13 minus the 10 that we already have there at the center. It will give us the value to put here, which is a 3. Okay, we are done with this guy here. We come to this one. This is biology and history. Which one is the intersection for biology and history? It is this one here. Okay, so we are told to say what is trying to avoid okay, so what is the total for this one? The total is 15 for that region. So you already have a 10 here, remember? So we simply say 15 minus 10 to give us the value to put right there. So 15 minus 10 gives me a 5 there. We are done. We come to this region. There's a missing value here. Okay, which one? Which is falling under this intersection? Okay, what intersection is that one? Mathematics intersecting with what? History. So let us go to the information and check what we are being told about this intersection. So math, let me just mute my phone. Okay, sorry about that. So math intersecting with history, what do we have? Okay. Sorry about that. Math intersecting with history, where do we have that information? Math intersecting with history is right here. We're told the total should be 16 for that region. So we already have a 10 here. So we simply say 16 minus 10. Okay. Sorry about that. My mic was skipping because I received the call, but I've put my phone on do not disturb. So I think we are good now. Okay. So math intersecting with history, which is this information right there. Okay. It's a bit jumbled, but I hope you're following. So math intersecting with history is that one, and we thought that region should have 16. So we already have a 10 here, so we subtract a 10 from 16 to give us the value to put right there, which is a 6. Okay. Once we are done with the intersections, that's when we go to these other regions. So now, how do you find the values to put in these other regions? Okay. We are told to say, let me erase some information to just have us focus on what is remaining now. Just sort of clean up. Okay. All right. So here we're told to say biology. They said for biology should have a total of what? 33. Okay. But just give me a minute. These guys are making a lot of noise. Let me just ask for quiet. Guys, I'm teaching you. I'm making a lot of noise. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so I thought to say they said for biology should have a total of 33 learners. So how do we find the value to put here? What we are going to do is we're going to say 33 minus what we already have. We have a 3 there inside the set of biology. We have a 10 and we have a 5. So we add everything here and then we subtract from the total, which is supposed to be 33. So here just get your calculator and punch. So I'll say 10 plus 5 plus 3. Okay, I've captured those values, I just check marked. 10 plus 5 plus 3, that gives me 18. When I subtract that from 33, it gives me a 15. So meaning the 15 is initially supposed to come right here, such that when you add everything inside this set, what you're supposed to get is what? 33. Because they've been told to say the biology set should have 33 learners. Okay, and when we add 15 plus 5 is 20, 20 plus 10 is 30, 30 plus 3, that is 33. When things are looking this way, you know to say I'm heading in the right direction. Okay, we are done with biology. We come to math. Math, we are told the total should be 24. Okay, but already we have the 3, we have the 10, and we have the 6. So we add everything that we currently have and then subtract from the total, which should be 24. That will give us the value to put right there. Okay, so let us go ahead and add everything. So 10 plus 6 plus 3, 10 plus 6 plus 3 gives me 19, and then 19 minus a 24, because we've been told that the math set should have 24 learners. So that will give me a 5. So that 5 I have gotten is what I'm going to place right here. We now go to the history set. The total should be 33. Inside the history set, we already have a 6 there, we have a 10, and we have a 5. So we add all those and then subtract from 23. What does that give us? Okay, so I'm going to say 10 plus 6 plus 5 gives me 21, minus 23, it gives me a 2. Okay, meaning I'm going to put my 2 right there. And then we are done at this point. Okay, so to confirm that what we have done is correct, let us confirm. The question said the total should be what? 50 learners. So let us add everything we have found in the Venn diagram here, and then we see if we are going to get a 50. So I'm going to say 5 plus 3, we have captured this guy and that guy, okay, plus 10 plus 6, I've captured the 10 here and the 6 there, and then we say plus 15 plus 5 plus a 2. I've captured this 15, the 5, and the 2. Okay, let me punch that on my calculator. I see what I find. So actually, when you're doing this topic, you can actually be with your calculator and also punch the values. Okay, this is going to be good for your practicing on how to use your calculator. Okay, so plus 2. So 5 plus 3 plus 10, 6 plus 15 plus 5 plus 2. When I press equals, that gives me 46. So now we have not found the 50, but we have confirmed that everything is correct, right? So what does it mean? There are 4 students who are missing. Where do these 4 students who are missing go? Where are we supposed to place them? It simply means that those students that are missing, they didn't borrow any books. Because in the question we are told to say, let me just clear up here, on a particular day at a school with 50 grade 12 learners, the total number of learners is 50, but only the indicated numbers borrowed the books. So meaning the 4 guys, they are not interested in any of the books that were available. So that's where that guy goes outside. And that is how come you actually have this question, how many learners right here? How many learners collected none of the textbooks? The examiner can't ask you a question when you're not supposed to have an answer for it. So that's how come we have this guy right there. Okay? So please pay particular attention to how you do this. When you add everything, you have confirmed each set is correct, like we have confirmed. Math is correct. We have 24 for math. Biology, we have 33 total. History, we have 23 total. We have confirmed. So meaning the remainder goes outside the sets. Okay? So that is what that means. Let us now go ahead and solve these questions that are following up. So at this point, do you have any questions? In fact, before I invite for questions, let me just emphasize on a few points. So you always make sure that as you are doing this question, you start plugging in values right from the center. Okay? Then you start going outwards. You start with the intersections. After the intersections, then you can go to those parts for only. Okay? Mathematics only, history only, and the other subjects. So this is how you plug in this information on your Venn diagram. Are there any questions? If there's a question, you can raise your hand. I'll give you an audience, and then you can ask your question, or you can simply type in the chat. Otherwise, we're done drawing our Venn diagram. Let me just check in the chat if there are any questions. Okay. William, is the mic still skipping, or you're able to get me clearly now? If you're able, just respond with a thumbs up. Okay, great. All right, so there's no question. Let's now go ahead and answer the questions that have followed here. So the first question is saying, Roman numeral 2, right there. How many learners collected none of the textbooks? We already found that answer. It's simply 4 learners. The guys that are outside the sets, these guys didn't like reading. We go to B. What is B saying? How many learners collected one type of textbook only? One type of textbook only simply means these guys here, these ones here, and those ones there. So we're going to say 5 plus 2 plus 15. The values I just checked marked, meaning what do we get? We're going to get 22 learners, right? 5 plus 15, that's 20 plus 2, 22. So I have 22 learners. Once you draw the Venn diagram, everything becomes simplified. How many learners collected 2 types of textbooks only? 2 types of textbooks only. Which guys are those? Okay, let us review our diagram and identify those guys. So we have these ones here, okay, these ones there, and those guys there. So it's going to be 6 plus 5 plus 3 for question C. 6 plus 5 plus a 3, which is going to give us a 6 plus 5, that is 11, plus 3, that is 14 learners. And we are done. You have your 5 marks. Do you have any questions before we proceed to the next example? Okay, we're good. We'll proceed to the next one. Same format again. They give us information. A survey carried out in a certain district showed that out of 200 teachers, they've given us the total. 200 teachers, 215. Sorry, 215 teachers. Okay, that is your total. So total is 215. What does that help you with? When you add everything inside the Venn diagram, what you should get is 215. Okay, so we're now taught to say 170 taught mathematics. We can now be capturing this data since we now know how to capture the data. So mathematics, we have 170. Okay, 100 taught ADMA, additional mathematics. Okay, so let's call this one AM, additional mathematics. It is 100 guys, 100 teachers. Okay, then 41 taught computer studies. For computer studies, let us call it CS. CS is equal to 41. Okay, then 65 taught math and ADMA. Okay, so math, allow me to use this symbol for and AM, ADMA, we have that is 65, is equal to 65. Okay, and then 30 taught additional mathematics and computer studies. So ADMA, AM, and CS, okay, computer studies is equal to 30, this value right there. Okay, and then what else? 26 taught computer studies and mathematics. 26, so CS and math is equal to 26. Okay, and 21 taught all 3 subjects. Okay, so 21 all 3, meaning we have a common intersection for all these 3 sets. All these 3 sets are intersecting at one point. Okay, it's going to be something like this, where you have this one as a common intersection. That's what the last information tells us. So let us go ahead and draw our circles. Then we can plug them into our Venn diagram. Let me just grab my circles from here. So let's have our first circle here. Okay, I think that's big enough. Let me copy paste. Okay. Switch to this guy to move it. Let's put it right there. I copy and paste again. Then we'll bring this guy here. Okay, then we can bring in the rectangle. So we go to our rectangle, then put it right there. Okay, that's enough. So we can now name the sets. So we have 3 sets: math, ADMA, and computer studies. So here we put an E. Let me click outside. We have an E. So let's call this one math. Let's call this one computer studies. And then let's call this one additional mathematics, AM. Okay, now let us plug in the values. Remember we said you always start from the center. So which guys are going at the center? It's these guys that took O, that taught O3. So here right at the center we have our 21. Then we go to the intersections. This intersection is for what? Math and computer studies. How do you find the value to plug in there? We look for that information. Math and computer studies is right here. Okay, the total should be 26. We already have 21 here at the center. So we said 26 minus 21, giving us a 5. So the 5 is going to come here. Okay, this one is for this one right there, additional mathematics and computer studies. The total should be 30. Let's go to that intersection. Additional mathematics is this one here, and then computer studies is there. The intersection, the part remaining is this one. Okay, so the total of been told should be 30. We have the 30 here, remember. So we're going to say 30 minus the 21 that is already there, it gives us a 9. So that's why you put your 9. We're remaining with this guy here. That one is falling under the intersection for math and ADMA. So where do we have math and ADMA? Math and ADMA is right there. We're supposed to have 65. So we're going to say 65 minus 21. That gives us 44. So here we put 44. Okay, now we go to these regions. How do you find the values to put there? We now look for the totals for each set. Then you subtract what we already have in each set. Okay, so let us start with mathematics. First of all, clean up. Okay, and this guy right here. Okay, so math, what is the total for math? Allow me to clean up here by erasing some of these values. Try to remove these guys. Okay, clean that guy and these ones. Okay, so what we're going to say, we said we start with math. The total for math should be 170. So we add everything currently in math. We have the 5 there, we have the 21, and we have the 44. We add everything and then we subtract from 170 to find the value to put here. So we're going to say 44 plus 21 plus 5. 44 plus 21 plus 5 is equal to 70 minus 170 gives me 100. So meaning here we're going to put 100. So let me just clean up again. So here we're going to have 100. Okay, we go to computer studies. The total should be 41. Let's add what we have. In computer studies we have 5, we have 21, and we have 9. Okay, so we're going to say 21 plus 9 plus 5, that should be 35, minus the total, which should be 41. Minus 41 gives me a 6. So that's 6. I'll put it right here. Okay, we come to additional mathematics. How do you find this guy here? We add everything, subtract from the total, which is supposed to be 100. So I'm going to say 44 plus 21 plus 9. 44 plus 21 plus 9 is equal to 74 minus 100. That gives me 26. So meaning here, we're supposed to get a 26. Okay, so at this point now we can start confirming. When you add everything here in math, we add 100 plus 5 plus 21 plus 44. What are we going to get? So 100 plus 5 plus 21 plus 44. What does this give us? Let's confirm. 100 plus 5 plus 21 plus 44 gives me exactly 170. Upon Itachonga, the set for math, we are done. You go to the set for computer studies. Okay. Just clear up again. Computer studies were taught to say the total should be what? The total should be 41. So here we're confirming whether what we've done is correct. So computer studies, we have a 5 there, we have a 6, we have 21 here, and we have a 9 there. We add everything, we check. 21 plus 5 plus 6 plus 9. 21 plus 5 plus 6 plus 9 gives me 41. Okay, twachonga na if it's correct. Because we have been told up here that computer studies, the set for computer studies should give you 41 right there. So we are correct. We go to the next one. Okay, which is additional mathematics. So I thought the total for additional mathematics should be 100 right there. So we add everything. We have a 44 there, we have a 21, we have a 9, we have a 26. When we add everything, what do we get? Okay, so I'm going to say 44 plus 26 plus 21 plus 9. 44 plus 26 plus 44 plus 26 plus 21 plus 9 gives me exactly 100. Well, we have confirmed that all the sets are correct. Now, we were told to say the total, always confirm. The total is supposed to be 215. We can erase this information now. We have confirmed that everything is okay. The total we've been told should be 215. So now let us add everything. We see if we're going to get 215. So we're going to say 100 plus 5 plus 21. We have captured the 100 here, the 5 there, and the 21 there. Okay? And then we say plus 44 plus 26 plus 9. I've captured the 44 there, the 26, and the 9 there, and then plus 6. Okay? The last one here. We have captured everything. Let us add and see what we get. So I'm going to say 100 plus 5 plus 2 plus 21, that's 21, plus 44 plus 26 plus 9 plus 6. That gives me 211. Okay, we are not yet at 215. What does that tell you? The remaining guys go outside the sets. So 215 minus 211 gives us a 4. So we have another 4 outside here. Okay, so first start by confirming each set. Once you confirm each set, then you add everything and then compare with the total you are given in the question. It will now give you the value to put outside the sets. In case everything matches, it simply means there's no one who's supposed to be outside. Okay, so now you've seen here again, you go back to the question. How many learners, how many teachers taught none of the subjects in the survey? You've seen they have asked about this guy right there. So if you left this guy out, you now be there wondering where you're supposed to get this answer. So our answer for question 2A, simply say 4 teachers. These are the guys that didn't teach any of these. Maybe PE, science, and the other subjects. Okay? Then here now, question B. How many teachers taught additional mathematics or computer studies but not mathematics. Here the examiner wanted to be smart with us. They wanted to confuse us with this English. Additional mathematics or computer studies but not mathematics. All they are asking for is all the teachers who taught computer studies and additional mathematics but not math. So in other words, it's more like math complement, except what is inside math. So inside math we have these guys here. Okay, so now we need to exclude these guys. We add everything outside mathematics but only what is in computer studies and additional mathematics. So it's just going to be the 6 plus a 9 plus 26. That will be our answer. Okay, so 6 plus 9 plus 26. So don't make a mistake of adding these guys. These guys didn't teach anything. The question is specified to say additional mathematics or computer studies. Okay, so when you add that, what do you get? 9 plus 6 plus 26. Is it? 9 plus 6 plus 26, that gives me 41. So that's 41 teachers. And you are done. The last one, how many taught 2 subjects only? 2 subjects only. By now, you should be good at identifying regions. 2 subjects only. Which regions are these? So we have the 5, the 9 there, and the 44. Okay, so question C, let's put it right there. 5 plus 9 plus 44. The ones I just check marked. When you add them, what you get? 5 plus 9 plus 44 gives me 58. So that's 58 teachers. And you're done. Do you have any questions before we proceed to the last question? Okay, seems it is making sense. We proceed to the final question. Same thing again. In a particular locality, 5 people like walking. So here there is no total. The question has just started with specifying sets. So we have these people that like walking. We're told to say they are supposed to be 25. So meaning obviously they will ask us to find the total. How many people are in this locality? You've seen? Okay, if they don't give you the total, they will ask you to find the total. So if you do not plug in the correct values in the right places, you get that one wrong. So 25 like walking, 22 people like running. Okay, so running, we say ara, it's 22 guys. Okay, then 15 people like cycling. Okay, bamanjinga cycling, let's call it C, there are 15. And then during the morning routine exercises, 11 people like both walking and running. So walking and running, we have 11 people. Okay, 9 like both running and cycling. Okay, running and cycling, we have for running and cycling, so that's a C. We have 9. Okay, then 7 like both walking and cycling. So walking and cycling, 7. Walking and cycling, we have 7. Okay, then 3 people like all 3 activities. Okay, all 3, we have 3 guys. And then kulibali 7 avevesi bakonda ma exercise. 7 people do not like any of the activities. Okay, so none of the activities, we have 7. Draw a Venn diagram to illustrate the information. Okay, so remember we always start from the center. So because we have this part for all 3 activities, it simply means your sets are intersecting at one point. All 3 sets are intersecting at one point. So we can go ahead and draw our sets. So this should be big enough. Yeah, get our cursor, try to move it a bit upwards. Okay, copy paste, put it right here, copy paste, put it here. Okay, we now plug in the rectangle. So okay, that should be okay now. Then we say this is our universal set. So what do we have? We have walking, we have running, and we have cycling. You name your sets. It doesn't matter how you do it, provided each set is covered. Okay, so we can even start with these guys. What is 7 hours? They don't like any of these. You can just put them outside. Okay, then O3. Start from the center again. O3, it's these guys here. Okay, you can even erase this out of the question now. We've used them already. So just try to clean up. Okay, walking and cycling, we have 7. The total for walking, the set for walking is this one here. Cycling is this one, meaning this guy, we are looking for a value to put there. So the total is supposed to be 7, so we say 7 minus 3, that gives us a 4. Such that when you add here, everything will get a 7. Because the intersection for walking and cycling, the total should be 7. We are done with that guy. You can erase. Walking and running, the total should be 11. Okay, where is walking and running? Walking and running, it's this region. So we're looking for a value to put here. Walking and running, the total should be 11. So we say 11 minus 3. 11 minus 3 gives me 8. So we put our 8 there. Walking and running. Make sure you put these values in the right regions. Don't make a mistake. Walking and running, we are done. Go to running and cycling. Running and cycling, it is this region here. We already have a 3. The total should be a 9. So we say 9 minus 3, giving us a 6. We are now done with these regions. We now go to the actual sets. Walking alone, the entire set for walking should have 25. Already we have an 8, we have a 3 there, we have a 4. So we add what we have and then subtract from 25. So I'm going to say 4 plus 3 plus 8 gives me 15. 15 minus 25 should give me a 10. Okay. So the 10 is the one we're going to put here. We go to running. The total should be 22. What we have already, we have an 8, 6, and a 3. Okay, I swap those values when mentioning them, but here you're able to see them. So we add everything we have already and then we subtract from what we should have, which is 22. So I'm going to say 8 plus 6 plus 3. 8 plus 6 plus 3 minus 22 gives me 5. So the 5 comes right here. We go to cycling. Cycling, the total should be 15. What do we have so far? We have 14, we have 4, we have 3, we have 6. We add what we have, subtract from the total. So we have 4 plus 3 plus 6. That should be 13. 4 plus 3 plus 6. 13 minus the total, which should be 15. We get a 2. So the 2 comes right there. Then we can now start confirming. Okay, walking should give us 25 in total. What do we have? We have a 10, we have an 8, we have 4, we have 3. Let us add them. Confirm whether what we've done is correct. 10 plus 4 plus 3 plus 8. That gives me 25. Confirmed. We proceed to running. Running, what should be the total? The total should be 22. Okay, you see, this is where I was saying you can also be punching. Running, we have 8 plus 3 plus 6 plus 5. Let's punch those values. So 8 plus 3 plus 6 plus 5. That one gives me exactly 22. Confirmed. Okay, we go to cycling. The total should be 15 for cycling. Okay, right there, it's showing 15. So we add what we have. We have 4, we have 3, we have 6, and 2. Let's add. So 4 plus 3 plus 6 plus 2. That gives me exactly 15 confirmed. Okay, then the question told us about those guys outside. 7 people do not like any of the activities. This is the 7 we have out here. Okay, now that we have confirmed, we can proceed to the questions, the other parts that are remaining. See how simple this is. Very, very simple. Okay. Where is that? This one. Let me just clear up right there. This information is now irrelevant. We can now proceed to the questions. How many people are in this locality? What does that mean? We simply add everything. Don't make a mistake of trying to do a shortcut where you say, okay, 25 like walking, 22 like running, and then 15, and then you add everything. That will give you wrong values. Okay, you need to add what is now in the sets. Okay, so we're going to say question Roman numeral 2a, we're going to say 10 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4. I've captured all the values in walking. 10 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4. I now go to the remaining ones in running. Plus 5 plus 6. I've captured these guys here. 5 plus 6. Then plus the 2 which is outside. Plus the 7. They said how many people are in this locality, meaning everyone in this locality. Okay, what does that give us? So let us add. So we have 10 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4. 10 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4. Plus 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 7. 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 7. 10 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4, we confirm. 10 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4. 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 7. 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 7. That gives me 45. 45 people in this locality. So you simply say 45 people. You're dealing with people. So you say 45 people. So as you are capturing values, as you are plugging them into your calculator, don't capture them one by one. 10, whatever. 8, whatever. At least get them in twos or something. 10 plus 8, you write. 3 plus 4, you write. 5 plus 6, you write. 2 plus 7, like that. You are quicker that way, not capturing them one by one. And when you are confirming again, do it like that. 10 plus 8 plus 3, you check. 10 plus 8 plus 3. As you are looking at the calculator, confirm the next ones. 4 plus 5 plus 6, you go to the paper. 4 plus 5 plus 6, and then you confirm from the paper. 2 plus 7, you check on your calculator. 2 plus 7. That's how you are quick when you are solving these questions. Don't plug in values one by one. For 10 plus 8 plus 3, at least capture them. The minimum should be 2 values at a go. Okay, we're done with A. How many people like walking only? Walking only, it's just these guys here. Very 10. Okay, walking only, it's just 10 people. By now I know we are okay with actually identifying these regions. How many like 2 different activities only? Okay, very, very important word. It will be very useful in your assignment. So I hope you've been paying attention. The assignment I'll give you to utilize mostly that magic word I've been talking about. So we're looking for people who liked 2 different activities only. So meaning we have the 4 here, we have 8 here, and 6. These are the guys that liked only 2 different activities. So let us add them and see what we get. So that is C. Let's just put it here. So that's going to be 4 plus 8 plus 6. Punch that, what do you get? 4 plus 8 plus 6. Get an 18. So that's 18 people. And you are done. Okay? And you have your 5 marks. So now, so far, let's count. Okay? GP, you have your 5 marks. Quadratic equation, you have your 5 marks. This question, you have your 5 marks. And then there is that part for the simplifying and all that. Okay? We're almost done with section A. So in the next, by the way, we're done with set notation, paper 2. At this point, you should now be able to answer set notation paper 1, because paper 1 is just basically an introduction. Very, very simple stuff. So with what you've learned now, you are able to answer the questions in section A. And wonder you noticed in the test, I even brought a question on set notation as well. Of course, I've been bringing these questions. And also for flowchart. Remember, I taught flowchart. We learned flowchart. No wonder in the test, there was that question on flowchart. Yeah, so far, so good. We are now remaining with vectors and construction, if I'm not mistaken. Vectors and construction. We sort out these two, then we are done with paper 1, with section A. Then we are going to proceed to section B. So for section B, we are just going to do 3. Okay, 3 questions. We are going to do trigonometry, linear programming, and eighth geometry. Okay, we'll add 4. We'll add linear programming, trigonometry, eighth geometry, and function graphs. The idea is this: you actually do not need to answer all the questions in the exam paper for you to get a distinction. You just need to be strategic. Okay, that is where people miss it. They think for you to get a distinction, you need to answer all the questions. Your target should be high, yes, but you need to be smart in order to outsmart the examiner. Because it is in very rare cases that someone will get to answer all the questions. Time always runs out. You see how much time we're taking just to confirm that what we're doing is correct. Okay? So no wonder I always tell you to say, start testing yourself. Start answering the entire exam paper. Like we are talking about paper 1. We are done with paper 1. So start attempting the entire paper and then time yourself. How long are you taking to answer the entire paper? Because you know this paper is going to be 2 hours. Are you able to answer it in less than 2 hours? No wonder you notice I don't give you the actual time when I'm giving you tests. I reduce the time. That is meant to help you practice on speed. Okay? Don't go in the exam and answer questions like you have the whole day to answer them. The exam is timed. It doesn't matter whether you know everything. When it's time up, you stop writing. So you need to just be strategic. Choose a particular number of questions. And then go in the exam aiming for those questions. Make sure you hammer them. And by choosing, I simply mean not when you choose, you are giving you problems. No. It simply means no matter what the examiner will bring, I'm hammering. When you make your goal like that, you're going to go in the exam and destroy the paper. That is how you pass. That is how you get a distinction. Okay? What does that help you with? Instead of you wasting your time trying to know everything. Remember, initially, the exam paper will contain content from grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. Initially, you need 3 years to study this curriculum. But how long have you had? Less than a year from the time you started preparing. So it simply means you need to focus on a specific part of the exam, and then you continue going through, you continue revising until you become very good to a point whereby no matter what question you deal with, which is in that range you are focusing on, you are hammering everything. Okay, so those questions that we covered in paper 1 are enough for you to pass paper 1. These ones we're going to cover in paper 2 are also enough for you to pass with flying colors, and by flying colors I mean you're going to get a distinction. So don't waste your time trying to know everything. You will not manage to finish, especially paper 2. Paper 1 is easy, you can finish. Okay, but that comes with practicing. When you're practicing, you are becoming fast at solving, you'll be able to finish. But paper 2, even me, I did not finish paper 2, but I have a distinction 1. So it's about being smart. Okay, focusing on which questions am I going to choose. Section A is non-negotiable, like I always say. You have to hammer everything. Don't leave out any question in section A. Section B, you also focus on a certain number of questions. Okay, trigonometry, linear programming, and eighth geometry. These 3, they are the easiest to answer and they are less time consuming. I don't like statistics because that question takes up a lot of time. For you to find the standard deviation, you need to be very careful. You miss out on one value, you get the wrong answer, and you lose 7 marks. 7 marks is a lot in section B. Okay, so why should I risk it when I have other questions that are very simple like linear programming? Okay, you've already done inequalities in paper 1, so linear programming is just going to be an addition on what we've looked at in paper 1. So already you know part of linear programming. You go to eighth geometry, we've already done eighth geometry in paper 1. So you just need to learn a bit for you to be able to answer in paper 2. Okay, trigonometry, that's going to be the only new thing that we're going to start from scratch. Okay, so these three, if you answer these three and each is carrying 12 marks, you have 36 out of 48. And if maybe say we also bring in some errors, let's say you have at maybe somewhere 33 out of 36, that is safe. Okay, plus you've hammered everything in section A, you've gotten your distinction 1. So it's about being strategic. Start practicing to solve the entirety of the exam paper. Have targets. Okay, don't waste your time looking at other things that are irrelevant. Okay, your aim is just to hit 75 and above. That is your aim. Okay, the time is not enough for you to hammer, for you to be aiming for everything which you won't even manage to finish. So if right now you are failing to finish this test that I'm giving you, what more in the exam? What's going to happen? So that's why I'm saying start revising the entire exam paper and then time yourself. Don't take longer than 2 hours. Okay, so in the next test, I'll just give you 1 hour 30 minutes, and that will be the final. 1 hour 30 minutes is enough for you to finish and you start going through. But it's only going to be enough when you are practicing. Mathematics, like I always say, is a practical subject. If you're not practicing, you're not going to become any good. You might fail again. So start practicing now. If you've not been practicing, start practicing. I'll continue giving you random tests in paper 1. Why? Because I don't want you to forget about paper 1. It is very normal for students to just focus on paper 2. By the time you start revising paper 1, they don't remember what they learned. Okay, that is simply because their focus was shifted from paper 1 to paper 2. Okay, so don't abandon paper 1. Keep going back, keep revising. That's why I'm going to be giving you random tests. Okay, the idea is to make sure that you are going back to where we started from, so that by the time we'll be done with paper 2, you will be ready for the exam. So that is the idea. So once we are done with these two that are remaining, construction and I think we just need about 4 sessions for each, for like both of these remaining topics, and then we are going to write our test based on section A. So it's going to be the entirety of section A. Then we go to section B. Section B, we don't want to waste much time. We'll just focus on these questions that I've mentioned, and then we'll start revising the exam papers. Today we're revising paper 1, tomorrow it's paper 2, just like that. So that by the time you're going to the exam room, that's my goal. So just make sure you keep up. When I give you work, do it on time. Okay? Yes, you are busy, you have your schedule, some of you are in school, some of you are working. But the thing is, this exam, whether you like it or not, is coming. You signed up for this. There is no running away from it. You cannot postpone it. Okay? This exam is set already. The dates are already set. So all that matters now is you preparing for it. So you need to be making time for these lessons. You need to be making time for solving. No matter how busy you are. If you're not making time, unfortunately, you won't be able to pass again. So if you have not been making time for revisions, please start making time now. Resources are already there. Videos have been recorded. If you need revisions, simply revisit the videos and you'll be able to learn where you are lagging behind. That is the beauty of having recorded videos. You can still go back, watch the lesson, get everything that you may have forgotten. So please start making time. I know we are busy, but let's make time. Otherwise, it won't be good when the results come out. So please start making time now. Start revising. I can't emphasize this enough. You need to start revising as much as you can. Okay? We don't want people stressing in the exam room. You need to go into the exam room smiling because you know I am ready for this exam. Okay? So please, let's do our honest part. Let us apply ourselves, and I also try as much as possible to avail myself for sessions and for support. When you have a challenge, hit my inbox. I'm failing to answer this question. Help me. I'll be able to assist you. So please utilize me while I'm available. Otherwise, that is all I had for you in this session. As always, the assignment is going to come in the next few minutes. And make sure you do it before tomorrow, the time for the assignment solution. So otherwise, thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next session.